Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another IgnitionTube video. I'm Eli and today we are working on the S6. Now what we're installing is this here handy dandy black secret box. This is actually the dump box from TGK Motorsport. Now if you're like me initially, you may be wondering what is the point of this fancy box here I'm holding upside down. What is the point of this fancy box here? Well, Tyler from TGK, he's just a guy from the Facebook group who has an S6 and wants to solve problems. He identified a problem that a lot of us didn't realize we had, and that's that there's no mechanical way to air the car out quickly. Side note, before we get further into this video, Tyler has created a coupon code for you guys to get 10% off. If you use code IgnitionTube, gets you 10% off anything on the TGK site. You can go through OBD11 like I've shown in a previous video, and that will get you the car all the way aired out, but you need to turn off level control and then air the front out and then air the rear out and then turn level control back on when it comes back up, and it's not always the most seamless process and is definitely not a quick one. What Tyler has done is figured out a way to literally mechanically, with valves in here, drain the system in about 10 seconds. Now, the other benefit to this is when you turn the car back on, the car says, oh, I'm too low, and airs itself right back up. There's really no downside to doing this other than that you have to cut into the factory air ride lines, which is going to be a fun adventure that I'm looking forward to. But I'm super excited to install this. So huge shout out to Tyler for kind of identifying problems and putting together a way of solving them. Now, the previous versions of these were 3D printed. This is a solid metal box. I'm very excited about the build quality of this. Obviously it looks very nice, it's very visually appealing, very simple, and it should fit in the trunk very easily. So what do you need to do to get started installing your dump box? Well, the first step is going to be getting your car so that it looks like this. Now, how do you get this stuff out? Well, this piece is slid down. You can grab it from the bottom and just go ahead and yank up. Some of these metal clips for me ended up staying in here, but it's nice they just slide right back into a channel here. So you're gonna have to pull enough that you undo 4 metal clips here, as well as get it over the tabs down here. You'll see it when you install it, but essentially it's this guy. It's this piece right here that it slides up and down. Now, I know C7 Owners International has an A7, S7, sorry, probably just an S7 RS7 video, but for C6, you undo the 2 T27s here, you pull up the luggage clamp. Now that this part is free, you can go ahead and pull on this, and there's actually a clip that will come undone right about here. You're gonna have to obviously tuck this out, but when you do that, there's now a spot that opens up that way where you can pass wires through here and go down into the trunk. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna figure out which fuse we're going to. I think I'm just gonna put it on constant power. You may be wondering, how do you air the car out? Well, Tyler's kit includes 2 of these little handy dandy fob buttons that when you press them, they'll open the vents in the system, so you just keep it held for about 10 seconds. It'll vent all the air out. But what's cool about these is these are actually on a frequency that you can program the garage door opener. So I'm gonna program garage door opener 3 to do the same thing that this does, and I'll be able to air the car out without even having to pull out one of these remotes. Also included in the kit is this very fancy, very well kind of insulated and good looking power line. This is what we're gonna use to tap into the fuse. I'm not sure which way is gonna be easier. I have a feeling that it might be easier just to go with these 2 through this way, like that, and reach up and grab them. You can always feed it the other way, but I think working with gravity versus working against gravity is gonna make this beautiful. That was super easy now that we have all this stuff kind of loose, and then all I have to do is push this back down and we'll be in business. I'm not gonna do that until we're putting everything back together though. I also grounded it out down here to this ground, which is kind of just in the front there. And we got some Home Depot Velcro on there, but if I reach in my pocket, grab this guy, we should, even with the car off, hear a click. And we are in business, baby. I went ahead and used the included clipper to cut the included airline to 4 pieces, which will half moon like this to there. Should have plenty of slack. There's about 63 inches included, so I cut each one to 15, except for one that's really long. And now comes the scary part of cutting the factory airlines. Sorry, this is from the pump. This goes to the tank, so it's these smaller ones. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. There goes nothing. One. And 2. And fingers crossed this connects. If this does, we are in business, boys and girls. 3. Oh yeah, all day. 4. That is all connected. All right, on to the next one. I should probably cut all of them before I install the T-taps because it takes up a lot of room. I have not seen this thing fully aired out on these wheels yet. That's pretty crazy. The front sits higher than the rear for whatever reason, but we got everything reconnected. All of the lines are down in there. Not the sexiest looking job, but it'll get the job done, that's for sure. All right, so I just tested it. It takes about 63 seconds to air up to my ride height, which is minus 33 on the seat module. To air out, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, let's say 20 seconds to air out. All right, got the wheels cleaned up a little bit. It's a different day, but we're out here. Settles down nicely in the front. She's still coming down, and good. How about that lighting though? Those shots came out sick. I actually have a couple pictures that I took. If you head over to Instagram, it's IgnitionTube YT, you can check those out over there. But that lighting is perfect. For those of you that want to know the difference between the TGK Drop Box and the seat module that I already have on the car, which if you don't know, the seat module is kind of like a override, but it is through the computer as opposed to this, which is like, I guess, a physical override of the air ride system. I'm gonna go ahead, let's take a peek at where the ride height is now. We have about like 2 fingers, let's say, yeah, 2 fingers of gap in the front, and the rear maybe 1 finger, right? 2-ish as well. Although, is it all the way aired out? Sometimes the car airs itself back up a little bit. All right, aired itself back up a little bit. We have like 1.5 in the back, and like still 2 in the front. All right, let's see if I put the seat module to the minus 55 setting where it sits at. All right, this is at minus 55 on the seat module. We have about 3 fingers in front. This was the 2 before. I can actually fit 3. And in the rear, about 2 plus, 2.5. So it's definitely higher than where it sits with the drop box. The biggest thing to note here would be that with the seat module, it doesn't override the car's active leveling. So if you park the car on a hill or on any other place other than flat ground like it is right now, you will actually have the car not all the way aired out like it is on this nice flat ground here. Now this is especially frustrating when you're at a car meet, one of the few places that you actually want to air your car out, and your car does not cooperate. You know, the front sits higher than the rear, it looks wonky, and then you can't air it all the way out. And I guess there's only a select few people that actually want to do this, but I think if you're looking for maximum air out, I mean, this is, so the front is not as dramatic. Let's show the rear. This would be the amount of difference that you get between, and granted, I guess this side is a little higher, but this is the amount of difference that you get between the seat module and the TGK box. I'd say that's about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch lower. So ultimately it comes down to your preference and how much money you want to spend. Obviously, if you buy the seat for $1,300 and then you buy this box for $700 but 70 off because you use code IgnitionTube, so $630, it's right around $2,000 for suspension, which is what you would pay for a high quality set of coilovers. So it's not unreasonable, but if you want to stay around that $1,000 to $1,200 range, I would either do the lowering links and the dump box, or I would do the seat module. If you want the best of all the worlds, do the setup like I have, do the seat module and do the dump box. It is also worth noting that I believe lowering links are pretty straightforward to install, and so is the dump box, and the seat module is a pain in the butt. You have to do some wire depinning and stuff like that, but I'm really happy with the seat module, so not going to knock that at all. Like I said, will make a full video talking about lowering the C7 S6 because I don't think that topic has been covered enough. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Huge shout out to Tyler at TGK Motorsport for innovating and kind of coming up with new things in the Audi scene and in the S6 and the S4 scene. It's really cool to see. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.